Welcome to Pep Talks with Jeanne. I'm your host, Jeanne Pepper. I started doing Pep Talks as a way to inspire you to do intentional acts of kindness and to further the goals of Blaze It Forward. Since Pep Talks began, it has evolved, and now I use it to interview people actively making a difference in this world through their volunteerism, community service, or careers. My guests are all here because they have dedicated their lives to making this world a better place. Join us as we delve into the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of these truly inspiring and hardworking people. This season, we will be focusing on the quiet superheroes, the thoughtful, kind, and forward-thinking community-minded individuals that teach us about resiliency, abundance, and how we can turn trauma, tragedy, and life challenges into meaningful, intentional action to repair our world. Welcome to another episode of Pep Talks with Jeanne. In my studio today is a young man. I don't know how young you are. He looks young. Adam Brody of Strategic Kids. Strategic Kids has a special place in my heart because of my son Blaze and his relationship with the organization and with Adam. And we're going to get to that. It's really an interesting story of synchronicity. But what's the most important thing here is that I have a superstar here, a big superstar. Adam, let's go over who you are so my followers can get a better picture of what you've done here. Not only are you the president of Strategic Kids, but you were the program director of Academic Chess, which is an organization you started in 2009.
Strategic Kids I started. Academic Chess of Orange County I took over in 2009.
Oh, you took over an existing business. Okay,
yes.
Because is that where you learned how to play chess?
No, but I was an instructor for them in college. So I started teaching chess in 2005 at elementary schools. And that's where I did the in-school in Foothill Ranch where I met Blaze. And also, was teaching for them and decided to come on full-time in 2007 and then became director in 2009.
Wow. Okay, so there's a story here, and we're going to get to it. You went to UCI, you started there in 2003, and you were focusing on earth and environmental sciences at that time. But you were also starting to begin working in chess, obviously, because by 2009, you took over Academic Chess.
I started teaching as a volunteer when I was 15. So I can give you that story now if we want to do that.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, so chess has always been amazing for me. I learned in 8th grade, so we'll talk more about this later, but I had a really tough childhood, and so when I learned the game of chess, it was just a really fun way to focus my energy on the game where I could be distracted from what was going on around me in a really healthy and good way. Learned chess out of a library book at my middle school, fell in love with the game. I got so excited, I asked the principal if I could run a chess tournament for the whole school, and she said yes. And so I ran a school at this Marco Forster Middle School in San Juan Capistrano, and I ran a chess tournament, and I just learned how to play about a month earlier. I put up flyers all around the school saying, who's going to put you in check? And so I got a bunch of kids to come play. It was really, really fun. I did lose in the first round because I had absolutely no chess skill yet. I just knew how the pieces move, but had fun running the tournament, still saw it through. And from there, just continued wanting to learn more. That summer between 8th grade and 9th grade, I was at the Boys and Girls Club, and this gentleman came in with a bunch of chess boards. And I got so excited because I didn't want to be at the Boys and Girls Club, but I love chess. He came in and started a chess club there, which I got to participate in. He was great at chess, didn't absolutely love working with kids. So pretty quickly, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I want to keep teaching you, but I don't want to do this club. So he unfortunately quit doing the club, but I wanted to keep it going. I wanted to keep playing chess with these kids. So I asked if I could take it over as a 15-year-old volunteer. And so I got this big backpack, put a bunch of chess boards on there. I would bike into the Boys and Girls Club twice a week and play chess with the kids. I created a ladder in Excel and was track their games, and it was really, really fun, and did that for 5 years. So that's how I actually got my start working with kids in chess. And then I was at a sleepaway camp in New York that I worked at. I ran chess tournaments out there. And then when I found the opportunity to teach chess in college, I took it and jumped on it with Academic Chess and started going to the different schools and teaching chess as an after-school instructor.
Wow.
So that's where my chess started.
That was a lot without taking a breath. Amazing. So, okay, there were a lot of things you hit on there, and I'm sure we're going to get to it as we talk about your history, but that's kind of remarkable, Adam. That's remarkable that you were so passionate. So you knew the minute you saw this game that this was going to be a big part of your life. Yeah. And you never let go of it. You just stayed focused on it, and you created not only a career for yourself, but you have enriched the lives of over 200,000 students.
Yeah, I quickly saw how awesome it was for kids. These kids loved it. And we had kids who were not confident, who were shy, who were maybe struggling in their lives, and they were able to come to my club. And so I saw as a teenager, kids who were having a tough time like I was, getting joy out of this game, and that brought me joy.
Wow. That's just so incredible. So you started the company Strategic Kids in 2013. So
Yes.
over 10 years ago, you had a partner, Blake, and the mission of it was to positively impact the community by teaching life strategies through games like chess, Lego, and other enrichment programs. That's kind of amazing. And I know that we talked about it before we started, that there's been a lot of expansion of what you do and how you do it. Can you tell me about your connection to the foster system in Orange County?
Yeah, so I grew up it was a really tough childhood. Unfortunately, my dad, had some issues with drinking, and there were a lot of tough nights. And so my family and I, I got to the point when I was 17 that I realized if I want to go to a good college, I had to be in an environment where I could thrive and learn. And so I left home on my own when I was 17, and actually rented a room for $300 a month as a 17-year-old. While I was there, my sister talked to a psychologist, which just instigated social services finally coming in and taking my brother and sister and putting them in Orangewood. I was able to find a friend, and his father became my foster dad, and so I got to avoid going to Orangewood, but became a foster kid officially in 2003. And so through that, it was a really, really tough time, but it did open up resources for me to be able to get a Guardian Scholarship funded by the Samueli Foundation, the Orangewood Children's Foundation, and that is what allowed me to go to UC Irvine. There's no way I could have ever gotten to that college or paid for it without that. I was really determined to get good grades, so I left home my senior year of high school, and I was able to actually get my GPA over 4.0. I took all the hardest classes, all the 5.0 classes at my high school, and I was able to get straight A's, and so got my GPA high enough to be able to get into UCI and get this Guardian Scholarship, and I was able to do really well. I made a promise to Susan Samueli when I got that I would never miss a single class in college, and I was able to honor that and actually didn't miss a single class. And
so for people that don't know who Susan Samueli is, she is the she's basically the head of the Samueli philanthropic organization now, and she and her husband Henry, they are huge philanthropists in Orange County. They are also the owners of the Ducks, and they've done so much for so many people in so many ways. It's vast. And you were a recipient, one of the many people that they've helped over the years. And Susan took a special interest in you as well because she saw the promise there, which is kind of remarkable considering the philanthropy that Susan does is so vast. And she's probably every year helping 100,000 people, if not more, in a personal way, like almost as much as you've been helped. But she took a liking to you and your story. So let's continue from there.
So another thing I did besides chess to support kids when I was early in college was teaching kids how to unicycle. I learned how to unicycle my senior year of high school. I had never been good at balancing, and it was a really cool thing for me to learn how to do. I was like, can I teach this to kids? And kids loved it. So I actually created a unicycle club for kids and taught them how to unicycle. We did the parades. We did the Swallows Day Parade in San Juan Capistrano, a lot of other local parades. And so one of the fun ways I wanted to give back to my scholarship fund that was supporting me in college was to do a unicycle-a-thon. So we went back to my old middle school, and we did laps around the track and raised over $1,000 for the Guardian Scholarship that I was in, and that made the press, and there were a lot of articles about it at the time. And Susan Samueli got to be a part of that, and it was really, really fun to be able to give back that way. I think that really helped inspire her that, one of the Guardian Scholars was really wanting to, go above and beyond to give back to the fund that they were
Was that before the Samueli Academy existed?
Yes. I was there at the groundbreaking of the Samueli Academy.
I wonder how much your story inspired the Samuelis to go forward with their plans to do that. I'm sure that it's all of these stories that convinced them that they could make a difference in people's lives.
Yeah, I was so grateful for everything she did. And so I just want to do my little piece to give back.
That's so amazing.
And so to this day, I get to still go and give speeches for Orangewood Foundation and other organizations. The 44 Woman is another organization that she supports. And it's really great to be able to give back to those who were able to help me. I made a promise to those adults in my life that I would dedicate the rest of my life to trying to help as many people as possible. And so still trying to live that out every single day through our nonprofit work and the for-profit work and all the stuff that we're doing.
It kind of hurts my heart a little bit to hear that people only feel that they need to do things to help other people sometimes when they've actually been impacted by the kindness of strangers.
Yeah, it
I
totally
know.
changed my life.
So, I mean, look at the how the kindness of strangers has changed your life. But it doesn't always change people's lives. But when it does, it's so remarkable.
Yep.
And I'm so glad you were one of the people that was able to receive. Really, really makes me happy.
Yeah.
Because my son got to learn chess from you. And part of, that synchronicity between us is Adam and I were sitting across the table from each other at the Orangewood event last year. And I remember when Chris Simonson, the CEO of Orangewood, introduced me to you. And I knew that I had never met you before because I used to drop Blaze off at the program that you ran. I didn't actually go in and talk to you about it. But I remembered that Blaze had been in your program, because how many chess programs were there for kids at that time? And so I was like, my son was in your program. And as soon as I mentioned his name, you knew immediately. And sadly, you did not know that he had passed.
Yeah.
But you did remember Blaze. And I was like, wow, the universe is telling me I have to have you on my show. Now that we finally reconnected after all this time, but you remembered Blaze and I remember, which is also strange, but you only taught chess in those early years in 2009 at a couple of schools. In the entire district of all the schools to choose from in Orange County, you chose our school in Foothill Ranch.
Yeah.
And so Blaze was one of the first people that got to meet you and do chess with you. And not only he loved chess, he was so good at it that he beat me every time we played. So I stopped liking to play with him so much because there was no chance that I would ever win a game of chess with Blaze. So yeah, it wasn't fun for me anymore. But yeah, you inspired him, and I'm so thankful that he got to know you. I really am. Maybe that was why he was the way he was, because he got to have people like you in his life when he was young. So
we really try to make chess fun for kids. So when I was in college, I started teaching chess as a job. I found you could actually get paid to do it. I did have to make a little bit more money to pay my expenses, so I started teaching chess while I was at UCI. My senior year, we had that opportunity to do the in-school at Foothill Ranch Elementary School. So I actually got to go in and teach every kid at the school how to play chess. So I went to every single classroom twice. The first time we did a lesson. The second time we actually had the kids play each other. And I believe he was a part of that program there. And that's, I think, maybe where he got into chess.
It is.
And so I used all my cool stories, which I had invented in the last couple of years before that, to bring chess to life, about Freddy the Pawn, the Rook Roller, all these different things we use to make chess fun and engaging for kids. I want it to be a game that is super fun to learn and super exciting. A lot of people see chess and they say, that's too hard for me, or that's boring. We're trying to kill all those stereotypes. And that's what we did through that in school. So it was really special.
And
I got to teach 1,000 kids there.
1,000 kids. And he liked it so much that I took him to your camp in the summer. I think he did it a couple of summers. He would go about a week, and he loved it.
I think he did our after school program at that school too. So we had a program right after school. And,
yes.
And that might be also where I worked.
He probably did that also. Yeah. I think you're right. He did do that also.
Yeah, and that was the program that I started.
Yes, that's so great. I mean, we were so lucky to have you. You not only did you do all of this just to get your life started, but you were starting a business. I mean, 4 years later, you started Strategic Kids, which is it's a business, and you've been able to the expansion's been amazing. Can you tell me about what's happened in the last 12 years?
Yeah, well, so I've been doing this program here in Orange County. So I'll backtrack a little bit. Started teaching chess in college. When I graduated college, realized I didn't want to follow my major. So I'm like, what am I going to do now? And so I got a job offer to actually try to grow the chess program I was a part of. And so was able to grow. We were in 24 schools when I took it over. And within 2 years, we were in over 100 programs. And so that year I got to become director. I got promoted to being director for all of Orange County for academic chess. Did really, really well with that. And then a good friend of mine, Blake Hepburn, had moved to Colorado. And when the banking collapse happened, he was jumping around to different jobs. And he heard about what I was doing here in Orange County. He's like, I really want to do this in Colorado. And so we launched Strategic Kids to bring chess to Colorado as his original purpose. And then we like, well, we can do more than just chess. And so my business partner, Blake, really loved Legos. And so we were able to create a Lego engineering program where we used Legos to teach kids engineering concepts. And so that started in 2014 in Colorado. We wanted to bring that to California. So in 2015, Strategic Kids came to California to teach Lego. And then since we've added more programs, we brought on origami, we brought on cartooning, and all sorts of fun enrichment. And we're growing and growing and growing. We launched up in Washington State in 2018 and 19 and brought it to an area north of Seattle. So we're like Everett, Washington, and north. And so that's still going to this day. And that was really, really exciting. And then 2020, the pandemic hit and bam, everything was turned off. It was Friday, March 13th, 2020, and we got a call from our districts. You cannot come back on Monday the 16th. We can't have programs in the schools because we can't have kids mixing together and spreading COVID. So we moved over to Zoom over the weekend. We were teaching Zoom classes that Monday. The tough part was, though, we went from teaching about 400 after school programs in 3 states to teaching like 10 Zoom classes. So I'm like, how am I going to keep all these people who followed us? So during that time, obviously, we built a team, started with just me and Blake. But by the time we got to 2020, there were probably 80 instructors teaching all these different schools. And many of them had been with the company even longer than me through academic chess. And so I was determined to keep their jobs safe. We always were chipmunks and savers. And so we had been saving. And we had enough to survive 6 months. But then we would be out of money. And so we were hoping, when COVID started, like, oh, the kids will be back in a week, a month, 2 months, 3 months, and just kept going and going. And it got to the point where I realized we weren't going to be able to start the next school year. And so I called all the people I knew and said, how can I help? And so we were actually able to get a meeting with an assistant superintendent at Capistrano Unified. And they said, well, we need staff to help our kids during the school day so we can reopen the schools. And I'm like, I need work from my amazing chess and Lego instructors who love working with kids, are great with kids. And like, okay, let's connect. And so I got them our 9 people or 11, 10 people could start right away. They're like, can you get us more like that? And we started hiring for the school district to help them reopen. So we provided staff during the school day to support the teachers so they can separate the kids into the cohorts for COVID. They need to have 10-to-1 ratios. And a lot of the teachers couldn't come back because of COVID. So yeah, it was a really, really exciting time for us to be able to come back and help.
Oh, that's so interesting. So your employees, even though they're not teachers, they're not credentialed teachers, they could be teachers' aides.
Correct. Yeah, paraeducators. They're teaching. So there's in the schools, you have a whole slew of staff who need a credential. You have a slew of staff who do not need a credential. And those are called paraeducators. That's the term they use. And we would be able to substitute those people until the school district could find them. And we're still doing that to this day. So it was really cool. The district has told me they would not have been able to do that reopening without our help. And that made me feel really good because when we were shut down during that 6 months, I had gone from, being able to impact all these kids to just running a few Zoom classes. I was, playing a ton of chess actually and trying to keep my mind busy during that crazy time. I got into day trading and stuff like that. We couldn't pay ourselves a salary. Because there's no income coming in. So I was just really excited to be like, how can I help my community? Like, that's what I live for. And so we had the opportunity to provide that staffing. It was awesome.
It's almost like when you just pivoted.
Yeah, we had to.
You had to find a way, but you didn't give up. And all of that pushing and trying to figure it out, you ended up actually helping a school district. Yeah. You both helped each other.
It was amazing.
I mean, that kind of is amazing.
Yeah.
But it also is, for all of us mortal people here to hear this story, to me, it says, don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Even when you are shut down, you can still open the window and go find another way.
Well, because of that, we've been able to now hire, we have about 800 employees now. So to go from the 80 we had before the pandemic to 800 has been amazing. And one of the things I'm most proud of right now is there's several former foster youth on our team who are now directors in our company. And so these people are now getting paid a good salary to be able to help kids break the cycle like they had to break, and I'm getting to empower them. And that's been what's so special. So I think we have 4 foster youth now who are director level staff in our company. And it wasn't intentional. It's not like I was looking for foster kids. This all just happened that these foster kids applied and thrived in our company and are now each supporting thousands of kids through their department of strategic kids.
That is so fascinating. Okay, so you have contract employees that work for the school district. Is that how this works?
Yes. So we do multiple things now. So now we're back doing our full after school programs again, like we were before the pandemic. Yeah. It did come back in about 2021 to 22. We were able to come back to full force. In fact, we're doing more of that than ever. We're also doing that school day staffing. So what happened is after that first year with COVID, they had a lot of kids with learning loss from COVID, and then the SPED students have always been understaffed. And so they brought us in to support those kids who need that extra support during their school day. So
when we talk about SPED, that's special
education. Yes. Okay. So these are kids who need extra help to get through their school day. So really what I look at Strategic Kids' job is now is to make the learning experience amazing for all kids. So kids with a disability or kids who are just struggling in any way, they are able to use our program to get through their day, and we're able to provide that staff to help them do that. And then also through the after school programs, the same thing. Like our after school programs get kids excited to be at school, excited to go to chess. I know there's students who don't want to miss school because of the chess program. We've had kids say, I don't want to switch schools when their parents are moving to another city because of our chess program. So if we can help motivate and inspire kids to be in school, like that's so special.
That is really special. And I know my producer talks about how it was so unmotivating when his parents took him out of a performing arts school, because that's what kept him wanting to go to school. And then like when you take away something that's so special to a child, sometimes it can, just makes education not fun, not exciting anymore. So this is such an incredible thing that kids want to stay in school.
Yeah. And the last few years we've also been able to do full after school programs. So for example, we have a school in Orange and a few in San Diego. We are the full after school program. When you look at like the YMCA childcare type program that a lot of schools offer, we get to offer that as an enrichment model. And so kids after school get to have learning fun. We help them with their homework. We make homework fun for them. We make enrichment fun and exciting. They get outdoor sports and games and our chess and Lego enrichment, and we can run a full program. And so that is a really exciting place we're expanding into.
That's very cool. Do you have internships for high school students that want to help you or get involved?
A little bit through our Friday night tournaments. We haven't done a ton of that. Unfortunately, to work with kids, you do need to be live scanned and go through a lot of background checks and stuff. So for a lot of our contracts, that's not possible. But definitely for like our camps and tournaments, yes.
Oh, that's
and a lot of it's our former students who are like, I want to come back and help and get into this again.
Oh, that's so
it's
neat.
Really special.
So tell me about your Friday night program that you have.
Yeah, so for me growing up, Friday night was the night that my dad would drink way too much, and it was a really tough night. And so I would often find myself out on the streets or going to McDonald's where I would just hide, and I eventually got a job there working because I was there every Friday night. And so for me, it was really special to bring this opportunity to the kids to do chess and a lesson and pizza every Friday night. So it's a safe place. We've been running these for 19 years. I started in 2006 when I was an employee there, and now as the owner, I still go every Friday night. Tonight I'll be there. We'll have 60 to 70 kids at our chess center. And so they get to play in a chess tournament where they can win trophies and medals for sportsmanship. They get a prize at the end. They get a pizza dinner and a lesson, and it's every Friday night. And so many kids come every Friday. Like, they look forward to this. And parents get a night out, so parents can drop off their kids. They can go out and have a date night or time, get stuff done. And we're able to give these kids a great experience. The kids are off their screens, and they're playing against real people, real kids, and making friends. And it's just a really, really cool community. So for me, knowing that these kids have a safe, awesome community every Friday night is so rewarding.
Oh, that's so cool. So where is this academic chess center?
It's in Laguna Hills. So yeah, we're off of the 5 freeway between Oso and Crown Valley.
Okay, cool.
On Cabot Road.
So it's not hard to get there.
Yeah, it's super fun. And we love having kids there, and we do summer camps, after school classes there. And then most of what we do is still in the school. So we still are about 150 schools in Orange County. We run after school programs at doing chess, Lego. Our biggest, fastest growing program is something called Masters of the Field, actually, which is like chess on the field.
Really?
Super fun. So when it started because when I was doing chess camps, like Blaze went to, we couldn't just have kids playing chess for 4 hours, right? So we would I was like, all right, we got to move them around. I'm like, well, if we're gonna move them around, I want them to still learn chess while they're moving around. So we got our giant chess set. We would put it out on the field, and they would run and get a giant chess piece and bring it back. I got to ask which piece can never go backwards. I have to go and grab the pawn and bring it back. Or I made it into a math game. So each chess piece has a different value. Like pawns are worth 1, rooks are 5, bishops are 3. And so I'd say run across the field and bring back 11 points. They'd have to work as a team in a capture the flag-like game to bring back the right number of points. So they're learning math. They're running and getting a workout, and learning teamwork and leadership all at the same time.
Oh, that's cool.
And then one of the foster youth that we is on our team now, he's our senior director now for OC Enrichment. He came on as a paraeducator, one of those staff during the pandemic. And we had him at a school as a paraeducator, and he was, the school called me like, he's running our whole PE program. This guy's amazing. And so I got to know him, and he just has this love for outside sports and games. And he created like 20 different games, sort of like the one I had created. And so he's like, I'd love to come do this full time. So we brought him on to bring on our Masters of the Field program. And that's now grown to being in over 200 schools. Thousands of kids are doing it every week. And it's a bunch of games that he created that are getting the kids a workout of their minds and their bodies at the same time. So it's a really, really cool program.
That sounds fantastic. Now, and it's so amazing to me because you did not study education.
No, I took a few classes. I have like 12 units.
But you don't have the wealth of knowledge that, the people that have PhDs in education have, who don't do any of these things and sit in offices telling everybody else what to do. But it's just kind of incredible to me that you don't have to, you don't have to study this from a theoretical perspective in order to just know how to bring this kind of joy to children.
Yeah, I think I've surrounded myself with a lot of really good mentors. For example, one of our team members is Kurt Viska. He had a show called It's Cartoon Time that was on TV here in Orange County for many years. And then he became a school principal in Capo Unified. And so I was teaching an after-school program, and he was there as well. And we were talking. I was like, would you like to come do cartooning with us? And so he came on and helped us develop our cartooning program. But as a former school principal, because he had just retired, we were able to also have him help us hire those staff in the schools. So he's actually able to hire the staff the way a principal would hire. So like surrounding myself with the people who do have that knowledge has been absolutely instrumental. He's just an amazing person who loves the community. And him and I have done nonprofit work together in Poland, and I've been to Ukraine, which we'll hopefully can talk about that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, let's talk
doing
about
work
that.
out there with kids. So yeah, it's been really, really special surrounding myself with those people who do have that knowledge. But for me, it's about a passion of making learning fun and exciting. I think that's what I've always naturally seen. Like, how do we take something that most people would consider boring and make it really fun for kids to learn, so they're excited to be there every single day?
Yeah. Your siblings who you grew up with obviously went through the same hardship that you did. Maybe more because they were in the system a lot longer than you were. You were only in it for a couple of years. Did they all share your passion for something? Are they all are they all productive and happy
in
people?
their own way. Yeah, absolutely. My older brother was out well before this all happened, so he was out of the house already. My younger brother and sister were in Orangewood home for a while. They went in and out. My mom did get them back eventually. And so they did definitely go through some struggles. My sister's super passionate about doing CPR classes. She actually CPR certifies all of our staff, and so she's really cool and does that stuff. She was also a Guardian Scholar with the Samueli Foundation, which is really, really cool. And then my younger brother got into marketing, and so he does marketing for eyeglasses, and he's out in Santa Monica doing that. So they're both doing pretty well now, which is great. But
You all were given a gift of being able to interface, it sounds like, really well with other people.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I bet. I mean, because you're doing something you're passionate about. I mean, does it feel like work?
No.
Never.
Parts of it do. I mean, when you're overseeing that many people, there's going to be headaches. HR is always a challenge for me. Like, how do we keep everybody happy and compliant in California? But as far as like the actual work, teaching chess, I would do that, for free for sure.
Yeah.
And I do actually do a lot of volunteering work. I love it.
Yeah. And your plan is to go into the nonprofit
Yeah,
sector.
I would like to do full-time nonprofit in the future. So we're already doing a ton of nonprofit work. Here in the state of California, there's a program called the Extended Learning Opportunity Program. And the state of California is funding these after-school programs and providing a lot of resources. So we've been able to become a big partner with them. And so we're getting thousands of kids access to our programs for free, just like I want to do with my nonprofit. So last summer, I want to say we had about 2,400 kids in our camp, and they were all there for free. Paid for by the state of California. So it's so special to be able to do that. I had so many of those parents come to me and say, like, this, I couldn't have done summer camp if it weren't for this program. And not only did we run it for free, but we ran it like really, really carefully with high quality, made sure that the kids were having a blast. We had amazing staff there. We put all the work and effort we would have had if it was a normal camp. And so
that's fantastic.
It was really, really special.
At how many schools were you able to do that?
We were at like 11 different schools, but some of them had a couple hundred kids. So for example, in Capistrano Unified, we were at 7 different sites, and each site had about 200 students. I mean, that's 1,400 kids there alone.
And that's just for summer, though?
That was during the summertime, yeah. And so they got 3-hour camps for 14 days. And then here in Newport Mesa, which is pretty close to where we are right now, I ran big summer I partnered with the district to do their summer camps. We brought chess and Lego to their camps. We ran full summer camps for Orange Unified School District and several other districts here in Orange County. And it was really rewarding to see the kids thrive, and just they were so excited to be there, and they don't even realize they're learning. They're like, they think they're playing, but they're learning and playing at the same time. And so that's really what we're all about at Strategic Kids.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, my brain is like just spinning with like all of the incredible things that you've been able to accomplish with children. And it's not just you've been able to basically, you've been like a hub for all of the spokes of people and all of the programs and putting so many people to work.
I couldn't do anything I do without our amazing team. So like they are really what it's all about. So it's been so fun. I really look at my role as empowering people to figure out where people's strengths lie, and then put them in a position where they can thrive and grow and do what they love and impact kids at the same time. And so that is really what's made Strategic Kids special. And so it's been really, really fun.
How many of the kids that you've worked with have come back to you, like after they finished school, and said, I just want to say, look at what I've accomplished? Like, has that happened?
Yeah, not just coming back, they're working for us. So we literally had in the last week, we hired 2 chess coaches who are former students who are in our classes. And that is so cool for me. So if you come to one of our Friday night tournaments, about half the staff working there were all students who played in those tournaments 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. A lot of them come back as staff. A lot of them can now become teachers and gone into the schools system and doing other things. So yeah, we have a ton of those kids come back. I still have kids recognize me and say, you were my coach 15 years ago. I still play chess. I still love it. And it's just so rewarding. So
that's so interesting. How many of these kids become grandmasters? Did any of them?
One. We have one, yeah.
You have one?
One who came
That's
through.
Kind of amazing.
He came for the pizza, he says, to our Friday night tournament. He's like, I came for the pizza, and he is now a grandmaster. There's only like 1,000 in the entire world. So.
But you created...
We created one.
One! I mean, that's kind of significant.
A decent amount of masters. But yeah, I really look at our program like that's awesome when that happens. But really, our mission is to teach life skills through chess. So like, very, very few of them are going to actually go there and become a master. But I do want them to do a couple things. Number one, chess is played all over the world. Like whatever language you speak, you can play people chess. So I'm able to go work with orphans in Ukraine and play chess with them and connect with them, even though I don't speak their language. So they're learning a game that's played all over the world. It's been played for over 1,000 years. I always ask kids, how old do you think chess is? And they'll go, 50 years, 70 years. I'm like, well, Franklin, like George Washington and Benjamin Franklin played chess, and when they played it was called the ancient game. It was already a super old game then. So they're playing a game that's been played for over 1,000 years, that's played all over the world, and it's teaching them so many life skills. Like number one, they're learning to learn from their losses. If I lose a game, I can learn from it, right? And if they can do that in life, that's huge. They're learning strategic thinking. They're learning to find patterns. They're learning to always ask themselves, what is my opponent thinking? And put themselves in their shoes so they can try to think the way their opponent is thinking. Like that's huge in life. So like there's so many cool life skills. These kids are learning how to plan ahead and create a strategy that's several moves deep, which is going to help them with math. And so they don't even realize they're learning these skills. They just think they're playing this game. And so that's been really, really special for us.
Oh, that does sound, yeah. I mean, now it makes me think maybe I missed out. I didn't learn how to play chess very well.
Yeah, it's a great game.
It is. I mean, my dad taught me how to play when I was a kid, but I didn't have a program like the one that you had, which made it something that I wanted to do every day. But I probably would have if I had been in your program.
Yeah, we get kids so excited. I love when kids see me and like, yes, it's chess day.
Yeah.
Because I've done my role. So
amazing. That's
what it's all about for us. And yeah, it's fun. Again, the summer camps are really great. And all the other programs we do all have the same purpose. For example, we had kids who, we were doing a bunch of interviews and the public speaking skills are really declining. Something I've noticed. And so like, what can we do about this? Mm-hmm. And so we had one of our chess coaches was also a magician. And I said, what if we used magic to teach kids magic tricks to get them in front of a group? So we created our first strategic magic classes, and the kids actually learn a magic trick and then present it. And so we've had so many kids who are normally super shy and not outgoing be able to actually get in front of a group with their magic trick and perform it. So all of our programs have aspects of that. Our Lego storytelling, they present their story that they build. Lego engineering architecture, learning engineering skills while building with Legos. We have a really cool class, a curriculum I wrote called Building Through the Ages, where they learn about different periods of history through Lego. So they go all the way back to ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, and they actually see pictures of those buildings. They build it. They tell a story about something that happened in that time period, all with Legos. So those are just an amazing teaching tool.
It's really interesting. I mean, I don't know if they've ever done studies about how we can use things that are fun to encourage kids to become more academic or to be able to learn these skills. I don't know, like they've used computers like to help kids learn how to type. And I mean, I used to play chess on a computer, but it's not the same as when you play with another person. It's never the same. It's never. Well, computers are also really good.
they're finally seeing, like, for example, they're banning cell phones from the schools now, which is really interesting. They're seeing that they need to get kids off their screens. Like, it's so addicting. Yeah. And so to have a game like this where, again, kids are off playing the same way people played 1,000 years ago on an actual board with people is really special.
It is.
And then Legos, too, or the hand-eye coordination is hand-eye coordination is something they're learning, and also just how to, like, tactile learning or using their hands.
Have you ever had a kid come in that said, I don't want to learn this, but there was a turnaround?
100%, yeah. I've had so many. I mean, just this year that happened. So my school on Tuesdays, the kid's like, I don't want to go to chess. I don't want to do it. He was, first grader. He'd never done a program without his mom. I said, just try it one day. If you don't like it, you never have to come back. And at the end, he's like, I can't wait for next Tuesday. And again, it's that storytelling concept, the fact that we use stories to bring it to life. That's just so helpful for all the programs we teach.
Wow.
And the same is true for like our school day support. Like our paraeducator in the school, like there's so many kids who going to school is really hard for them. They have some disability, whether they're on the spectrum where they just can't necessarily connect with kids the same way a normal kid can, or they have really serious ADHD, or they have a physical disability where they can't play sports. Like we're able to actually come in with our paraeducators and actually help those kids have an amazing school day. Like that's so rewarding.
Wow, that's incredible. Do you have a little boy or a little girl?
Yes. My son is 7. I got married in 2018. And 2017, I got married. Son was born in 2018. It's been really fun to be able to break the cycle and be the dad to him.
Is he playing chess?
He is. He's actually going to be in our tournament tonight.
No kidding.
And I was really careful. I didn't want to push him to chess. I want him to find it on his own. Like I teach chess all the time. And I didn't want to be that guy who's like, I'm going to make him play chess. But he found it on his own, got super excited about it. And right now he's really into it, which is so special.
Oh, wow. So how old was he when he said, I want to learn?
It's a couple months ago, actually.
Oh, it just
He learned a little bit. Like I taught him when he was 3, a little bit how the pieces move. But I would say only in the last few months that he on his own has really been excited and wanted to go.
Oh, I'm glad that you did it
really
that
cool.
way.
Yeah,
it would have been such a shame if you'd forced it down his throat and he didn't like it.
Yeah, exactly. So I want him to find it. I want him to be something he wanted to do on his own. So he's really enjoying it.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. Wow. Is there anything we didn't talk about that you think we need to hit on?
Well, I love talking about the work we're doing in Ukraine. I think it's really, really
yes.
special. So my foster mom was donating to a group called Life Song for Orphans that did a lot of work in Ukraine. So these kids are in orphanages there, and it's like Charles Dickens style orphanages, these big dark buildings. They have school there, but then after school there's nothing for these kids. And so this organization was bringing basic after school programs. They were teaching kids English, they were doing arts and crafts. And so I started supporting this organization, and they asked, do you want to go and get more involved? And I was pretty nervous to go out there, sort of like facing my past. These kids are still going through trauma. They've been through trauma. So I sent my good friend, Chess Master Takaji, he's a USCF master. He went out there, and he loved the experience. I was like, well, I'm doing something really nice for him by sending him out there. I don't need to go. But eventually I finally went out there in 2016 just to see what they were doing, and I realized how much I could help. And so what I did, starting in 2017, 18, and all the way through the pandemic, we trained them in our curriculum we're doing here. So we actually bought the Legos, got them the chess sets, all that. I went out there, trained their staff who speak Ukrainian and Russian how to actually run our programs. And they started running these programs for the kids in the orphanages. We ran the first ever Lego camp in the country of Ukraine, as far as we know. And so we were able to really impact these kids. And every Friday night now in Ukraine, even during the war, they're actually having a chess tournament, just like we do here with the pizza. We ship the same trophies and everything, and it's actually happening in Ukraine. So to me, it's so special that these kids in a war-torn country like Ukraine are able to really benefit from our programs. In fact, one of the places we were teaching at was bombed, and our Legos did not survive. So like that's actually happening right now as we speak, and these kids are going to shelters and that, but at least they have our chessboard, Legos, and good curriculum and stuff that is just as high quality as we're teaching it here, and the people there are amazing. So that's been really fun. I was able to teach Ukrainian refugees in Poland. I did a big camp for over 100 kids there. It was really cool. On the first day, I'm like, who here likes chess? And it's like, eh. But on the last day, I was like, who likes chess? And they all went, Shok, I mat, which is Russian for checkmate. And they were so excited. I gave each kid their own little magnetic chess set, and they're like holding it to their heart. Like, I'm so excited to have this. Kids as old as 15. Oh. And then one of them found me and emailed me recently about how chess changed his life. So it's like really, really special to like be able to help kids all around the world. And I really want to do more of that long term. So I really want to support really good organizations that are helping kids and train them on our curriculum and give them the supplies to be able to run these programs. And so we did send a team to Brazil recently, which is really cool. And they did the same thing at a Brazilian orphanage.
Yeah.
And
it's interesting to me that you're going to foreign countries. What about the U.S.? Is there anywhere in the U.S. that could use this program?
All over. And so again, a big thing my program does is we're in those inner city schools. So for example, in San Diego, we're in 3 pretty low income schools. These kids would never be able to afford a program like this, and they're getting the high quality chess, Lego, and cartooning. We actually send our top enrichment instructor, Seaver. He's going down there weekly to train that staff on our enrichment. So we're 100% doing that here. We still have done volunteer work with the Boys and Girls Club. And again, those camps that we're running are totally free for kids. So we had thousands of kids come to our camp and learn that enrichment right here in California. And then our nonprofit organization, the Strategic Kids Collaborative, has been sponsoring free classes at low-income schools in Colorado and Washington. We focused them on Colorado and Washington because they don't have the funding like California. So there's literally no way to like get these programs in low-income schools without fundraising and raising that money. So that's what we're doing in those two states. And so
they
hundreds of kids.
They don't have a school district that's
they don't have the funding for after school programs.
So
we're going to public schools and running an after school chess class or Lego class for free for those kids.
And this is through a collaborative foundation.
Strategic Kids Collaborative that we set up, and that was to raise money to get these programs in the schools. So it's been really, really exciting to help kids that way.
Is this collaborative still exist?
Yes.
Okay. And
we're trying to figure out the next direction we're going to go in. Again, I'm debating what do we do with this, because here in California, again, like we created this originally for California because until 2021 there was not that after school funding. So if we wanted to do a free chess class in Orange, for example, I would run a chess tournament and I would do it for free. And we'd take all the money that we raised and we'd use that to pay for a class in Orange. For example, we did this at Palmyra, was one of the first schools we ran one of those at. And so we're like, we need to find a better way to be able to raise money to do this. So we created the collaborative. Originally, we were a project of 10C, which is a nonprofit here in Orange County that does a lot of work with for-profits to help them do nonprofit work. And so we did that and actually was able to connect with Susan Samueli, who helped us get going. And then from there, we realized we should really build our own nonprofit. So we did that. But then in 2021, this ELOP funding came into California, which allowed us to do the same work on an even bigger scale without having to fundraise. Like really for me, I just want to say, how can I impact the most kids?
Yeah.
And if we don't have to fundraise for it, that's even better. So that was really, really special here in California. So we're really trying to figure out what we're going to do next with that nonprofit. Right now we're at that pivot point, but we're for sure going to be doing nonprofit work long term. And I guess I do more and more of that.
Do you think you'll be able to get your program in every school in the country?
That'd be amazing.
How can you do that?
Well, it's all about collaboration. So I don't look at anybody as a competitor. Like all the organizations that do close to what we do, if they're doing great work, that's amazing. I want to just partner with them. So for example, we partner with the YMCA. We partner with the Boys and Girls Club. We partner with lots of different organizations that are doing great work. We partner with the schools and the districts. So it's going to be all about those partnerships, finding someone who's really good at that there that we can come alongside and support the good work that they're doing.
Now, are you the person that makes those calls to those organizations?
I have been historically. We're finally at a point where we can start hiring a team of people to help do that, but I have been the main.
So historically, you would call up the CEO of Boys and Girls Club and say, I have a proposition for you.
No, I wouldn't. Normally, my route is really like networking. So I would talk to somebody who knows them and then get to meet them that way. And it wasn't always the CEO. It's different coordinators and stuff. And most of the growth has been very organic. It's been very little like me making calls. It's been somebody's heard about the great work we want to do, and they're actually reaching out to us saying, how can you help? So there is some of that, but the vast majority of it has just been networking. So I look at it as like a spider web, as who do I know and who do they know and how am I able to like figure out how can I help? And that's the question that like changed us. So in the 2020, when that pandemic hit and we couldn't teach our after school classes, I just asked everybody who I knew in the industry, how can I help? And I really meant it. And I still do to this day. So just finding out where are we able to serve kids to make their learning experience better. And then we come in there and we do it with all of our heart.
Oh, I love that. That's incredible. So then there is a chance then that you'll one day you'll meet the person that gets to make that decision that it goes into every school in California, every school. I mean, you're not in every school in California.
No.
Why not?
Capacity. It's finding great people who are passionate and able to do that. I think one of our biggest limiting factors is finding chess instructors, for example. So the thing with being a chess coach after school is a great example. It's a 1 hour class after school. Maybe we have 3 hour offerings at some of our nonprofit schools, but it's between 1 and 3 hours a day, right in the middle of the day. There's not a whole lot of people who are great with kids, who are good at chess, and who are excited to take a job like that. So that is the biggest limiting factor.
Because it's like a 15-hour-a-week job at the end of the day.
Yeah. So people, if they have to make a living, they got to work full time. Like it's just not going to work for them.
So it's a side hustle for most people
for a lot of people. We have a ton of college students who want to become teachers, former students who are in college right now, for example, who actually taught chess too. Like the one we hired yesterday.
Oh,
who texted me like, I got the job. I'm like, I taught you chess when you were 10. That's so cool.
Oh, that is so cool.
And so there's a lot of that. We have some retired teachers who work for us. So like they were teachers. They don't want to work full time with kids anymore. And then we have, some like gig workers who maybe they're an Uber driver and they can do this on the side, stuff like that. But it's very hard, to find those part-time workers. So I think that's the biggest challenge. And then also, the networking piece. Just school districts are often, they're very set in their ways. Like they've been doing it this way, and if it's working, it's working. So to break through that mold and prove them like I've got something new and exciting, is often hard. These district officials they're so overworked. A lot of them, they're doing so many different things. Like I've learned like what a school principal does is amazing. Like they wear so many hats,
Right.
and they're doing a gazillion different things. So it's hard for them often to take on something new. So to be able to talk to the right person, like if I just sent that email or called the principal, like I'm not going to hear back if they're busy. So finding that way to connect is huge. So good people and good connections.
Yeah, and being on the campus, like getting in the door.
Yep.
is a great way to just meet the people that can get you in the door with the principal.
But you can't just walk into a school, so it's all the security issues.
It's
so
like it's a whole thing. So you really have to know somebody to kind of get in there.
But we're building that network, and I'm so proud of the work we are doing. Again, like we've grown from, we were 27 schools with 8 instructors to now having almost 800 employees. It's amazing.
Can any kid learn how to play chess?
Yes.
You can teach anyone.
Anyone, yeah. We make it fun and exciting. And one big thing we're trying to do is get more girls playing chess. So every February we run a big girls chess tournament. We get all of our pink boards out and make it super fun for them. I think chess is like 75% boys, and I'd love to change that and get more girls playing. So
why do you think that is?
I think it's like maybe the war type game that they're thinking like it's a battle game, and so maybe girls aren't as attracted to that. And it's definitely interesting the way girls play versus boys, where girls like I want to get my pawn to the other side and make a queen, where the boys are like I gotta get my checkmate. So it's just a different type of thinking, but we are definitely breaking that mold. And I have a lot of girls who are really good, which is so cool.
So do girls have to change their mindset to be good players?
No, they have to just change their mindset to start playing.
Just play, but you can still try to get the queen and win. Okay.
Just get them to like play the game and get excited about it. I think it's the bigger challenge.
So it's really just getting the fire stoked.
Yes.
It's not about like the approach of a female, even if it's always going to be very similar. They can still be a chess master.
Absolutely, yeah. There's Susan Polgar is an amazing story. You can look her up if you're interested. I got to meet her in Las Vegas at the National Chess Tournament. We bring a team every year to Vegas, and she was there, and her story is amazing. There's 3 daughters, and they all became super amazing chess players, and she was a women's world champion at one time and overcame a ton of adversity to get there. And
wow, like the Queen's Gambit. That was an interesting.
That's a really good show.
Is that the same person?
No. So it's partially based on her, possibly. But,
it could be. Yeah.
But no, that was a fictional.
That was
story,
a really interesting
good.
story as well. I've probably
got a ton of girls playing, which is cool.
Really?
Yep.
I'm happy to hear that. I really am.
Have you ever heard of Queen of Kotway? It was another one that's a Disney show that came out about chess, about this little girl in Africa who got really into it. So that was another amazing game.
Is it based on truth?
Yeah, that one is. It's a nonprofit that was actually doing chess for kids in
Africa. Wow. Are there other games that are as useful as chess? Yes.
Everything, yeah. Our Master of the Field sports program is amazing.
So there are a lot of things that any game, a lot of games, it's strategic games.
We call the word we use is gamification, which is gamifying everything. Even like our classroom management. Like if I want the kids to clean up our chess sets at the end, I turn it into a game. Whoever can get the cleanest areas and then win 5 points for their team or whatever it might be. So we really try to gamify the entire experience for kids. And so that's really what it's all about. So things that are traditionally boring or something that they don't want to do, we just turn it into a game and make it fun and exciting. Kids learn through play. Like they naturally want to play. You don't have to teach a kid to want to play. They just are born wanting to play.
Don't you think adults like to also?
Yes.
I think we all do. Should we all gamify our lives?
Should, yeah.
Is everything a game?
It can be.
I know, but a lot of the games that we play aren't very fun.
You got to make it fun. That's the whole point of gamification.
How do you make it fun? That's the question. Well, I think part of it is finding your passion. So if playing games is your passion, then I guess all you need to do is gamify everything in your life, and you'll make it fun for yourself.
Absolutely, and we're definitely helping kids do that through our work. So it's really, really special.
Yeah.
So, I can't wait to see where we go. I mean, we're looking to continue growing and reach more districts and more. Again, we have a team who's being hired to help us network and grow and meet new people. But yeah, it's been really, really exciting. I'm really proud of where we've gotten to, and I'm really proud of our team and what we've accomplished. And for me, it's been really special to like break that cycle, like use the pain I had as a child and use that to help others. Like it's so rewarding that a kid like Blaze or kids in the San Diego right now are being benefited, and that wouldn't have happened without my hardship as a kid. So it makes it all feel more worth it for me.
Yeah, it's something that sometimes we have to go through so much pain in order to find our purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
And I've learned through it. So, I mean, everything it's about learning. Back to chess, you want to learn from your losses. So how can we learn something from every challenge that we go through?
Yeah. What was your big takeaway from your hard life? Was it just that having a hard life is not the end of the world?
Yeah, that you can always change. You can break the cycle. That we have the power to break the cycle. Not everybody knows that. So that's a big challenge. A lot of people don't realize that you can break a cycle. I mean, for me, getting married was a really tough thing because I didn't have that good marriage example as a kid. So it was really, really cool for me to see some good friends who had a good marriage and see that it was possible even for someone like me to have that. And so I dated my wife for 8 years. And
Whoa.
She wanted to get married a lot sooner, but I was afraid of that. And so, yeah, I think the big takeaway is like you can break the cycle. You don't have to be a victim of your past, and you can use that to help others. So, I mean, so many people have gone through really, really great hardship, but it's through that hardship that you grow stronger and you're able to just support people and make that hardship all worth it.
How did you meet your wife?
Sort of online. We actually started as friends. So she had a post online. She was looking for a friend, and we hung out as friends for a long time and then started dating, and it was a whole long journey. But
and you decided, really even though you saw marriage was a disaster in your own life with your parents, you thought, I can do this.
It took a lot of tries. But I have a really good mentor couple who I actually... being that I'd been to the East Coast, they had 7 kids. So I went on vacation with them to the East Coast and showed them around, helped them take 7 kids on a journey to New York and Washington, D.C. and Pennsylvania. And I got to see their marriage and how it worked. And I got to see that it is possible, like even, the way they did it, like they had lots of challenges, but they were still able to overcome it and love each other. Like that's what changed my perspective. So I'd actually, my wife wanted to get married, and I just backed off, and I'm like, nah, we're done. I can't do that. And then once I did that experience, I was like, I called her, and luckily she was still waiting for me. So I'm really grateful.
Oh, that's lucky. So it's kind of a game. You got her back. You won.
I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, that's amazing. How does a chess program compare to a STEM program in terms of teaching kids life skills?
Chess is a STEM program for sure. So science, technology, and your math. They're learning those math skills through chess. So chess is actually about patterns. People often ask chess masters, how many moves do you think ahead? And the answer is it's not about how many moves they think ahead. It's about patterns that they've learned. So being that chess is all about patterns, we teach it through patterns. So kids are learning about patterns and problem solving and all that, which is going to help them with their math. So it's very, very similar. So chess is completely, and I think that's a interesting thing when we try to sell chess as a STEM activity. Not everybody realizes that, but it totally is a game that's teaching kids math, and you'll see a huge correlation. Kids do really well with chess in general, do really well with math.
Oh, that does make a lot of sense.
It's the same part of your brain. So you're like practicing that part of your brain that has to think ahead and problem solve. As you know, as you get into like linear algebra and calculus and all that, these problems take multi-steps to solve to get from here to there. And that's what chess is all about. It's like, how do I get from this position? I envision the position I want in the chess game. And how do I get from the position I have now to the position that I want, and visualize the results and the steps of the process? It's the same thing you do for a complex math problem or even like a chemistry problem. So it's very, very related to the thinking that's used in math.
Yeah. Are you good at math?
Yes.
Oh, you are?
I love math.
Oh, that's so interesting.
When I was a kid, I would multiply my 2s and get into the billions. So.
Oh, you're one of those math people. So why not major in math?
I loved meteorology. So as a kid, I was fascinated by the weather. I planted my own garden when I was like 6 years old, and I just loved plants. And I realized that when it rained, I didn't have to water them. And I'm like, well, why does it rain? And so then I started getting really excited about meteorology and clouds. And I would go and get the newspaper every day and look at the weather section and listen to the radio to hear the weather. And so I was obsessed with weather as a kid. And so if you had asked me what I wanted to be from when I was 5 till 22, immediately it was meteorologist. And so I went and wanted to study that. And there's a lot of math in meteorology. So like the way the weather works is all mathematical based. So I did do calculus and all that as part of that degree. But that's what I thought I wanted to do until senior year of college. Yeah. And then I realized senior year of college, I did a really cool research project on the effects of El Nino and Santa Ana winds. So Santa Ana winds are those winds that come out of the east, and El Nino is a warming of the ocean that happens every few years. In the South Pacific that brings more rainfall to us. So we're looking at what is the correlation of those. And I got to do this really cool research project with a professor at UCI. And it was really cool, but it was all on the computer staring at a screen. And I love to talk to people and build relationships. And so in talking to this professor, I realized I can't be a meteorologist because he's like, it's only going to be more this way. He's like, if you're going to be a meteorologist, you're going to be on a computer screen 8 hours a day and looking at this screen, and that's what you're going to be doing. And it's only going more in that direction. So what meteorologists do now is they look at like 5 different models and they just say which one do they think is right, or they do a mix of those models to figure out what the weather's going to be. And that's just does not sound like something I could do. And so I had to pivot. So I'm like, what do I do now? And so then I started doing the chess thing, and it all took off from there.
That's kind of amazing. Do you use math in chess? Like, do you have some kind of an algorithm that you use?
A lot of math is patterns and problem solving. It's the same mindset, yes. There is some calculation for sure, because like each piece has a value, and so you have to decide, like, is this a good trade, is this a bad trade? And sometimes those trades can be complex, like you take 4 pieces and you lose 3 pieces. So you're doing the math to figure out whether or not that was a good trade or not. Wow. So there is some math, actual math in there, but really it's the math skills of problem solving and thinking ahead and visualizing results that come from chess that you also use in math.
Can any of your students beat you?
Yes.
What percentage?
Happens, very few. Our monsters at Friday night can. Like I never got to be an amazing chess player because I had to make a living in college. So like in order to like get really amazing at chess, you got to dedicate your weekends to it. And I never had that luxury because that's when I worked and made money to survive. So I got pretty good, but never like amazing. Like friend chess master Takashi is telling you about, he played over 1 million games of chess and became a master. But even he's been beaten a few times. So chess is a very humbling game. No matter how good you get, there's someone who's better, you know? And so, you know, Magnus Carlsen is the highest rated player in the world right now, but he can be crushed by the top rated computers. So
he can be?
Yeah. So it's very, very humbling.
Oh.
Well, the computers can think millions of moves a second. So we're never able to compete.
And that's not even a quantum computer.
Yeah.
How's that going to look when we start using quantum computing?
It's going to be pretty wild.
I know, because they'll probably be able to beat us in 5 minutes.
It all happened in the 1990s. There was this Deep Blue was built by, I believe, IBM, and it beat Garry Kasparov, and that was a big deal. And that was the first time a world champion of chess lost to a computer. Unfortunately, computers have only gotten better since then. And world champions have gotten a little better, but computers have gotten way better. So
yeah. So can computers, like when you're looking at 2 people playing chess, can a computer tell you exactly what the best move is, and then you can watch to see if they make it or not?
Yeah, so the best way to get better at chess, if you're really trying to improve your game, is to play and then analyze it with a computer. So you can see what moves you made were good, what moves you made were not good, and then learn back to learning from those results. So
that's fascinating.
The best players in the world, they analyze their games on the computer. So you use a program like Stockfish, which is a very famous one that's a chess analyzer that will tell you what move you should have made instead. And so because of that, world champions are better than they've ever been before. Like if you put the current world champion against Bobby Fischer in the 1960s, even if Bobby Fischer was more talented naturally, he wouldn't have a chance. He didn't have all that computer study that Magnus Carlsen has.
Do you have those kinds of models available for your students to look at?
A little bit, yeah. Very few of our students are at that level. I come back to like our real mission as strategic kids. Again, we do have those advanced classes. We have a group called Dream Team, which are our best kids, and those are the kids actually going over the games with the computer, doing one-on-one lessons with a master, and going to those big chess tournaments. But the vast majority of our kids, we're really trying to teach them a love of chess, that I want them to love the game and enjoy it, and the life strategies that come from chess. We're not trying to teach them to become a grandmaster. It's like not our goal. If that happens, it's amazing. It does happen naturally, which is great. But again, very few kids are ever become. There's an organization out there that's all they do, and they have so many kids who they're not having fun. They're just doing it because they have to do it.
Yeah.
But for us, it's all about fun, genuine enjoyment of learning and learning those life skills.
Do any of your kids in your program that start kind of maybe a little bit rough, maybe they've not come from the best home life, do they all seem to straighten out, or do some of them become more problematic?
Oh, it depends. It's hard when you don't have that good example. I mean, drugs and alcohol obviously are a huge problem for a lot of kids. So dig into that. The most important thing is when they're a teenager, making sure they make the right friends. So who's your friend groups? Like for me, I'm really grateful that my friend group, because I could have easily gotten into that. Like there's a period of my life where I almost did get with the wrong friend group. And so had that happened, my whole trajectory would have been different, right?
Right.
And so I had a friend group that was nerdy and into school and into getting good grades, and like there was no drugs or alcohol in my friend group, actually. Very little, I should say. And so I wasn't even tempted by that stuff. But if you make the wrong friends, unfortunately, because when you get into high school, if you don't have the strong parents to lean on or the strong family connection, then that friend group is your connection.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
So basically, if you want to keep your kids out of trouble, get them into Friday night chess.
Friday night chess, and know who their friends are. Have them make good friends.
Yeah, but chess is pretty safe.
It's amazing.
I don't see people able to do chess and drugs at the same time.
No.
I mean,
The founder of Academic Chess, so I brought my Academic Chess hat here. His name is Eric Hicks. He's actually the one who started Academic Chess in the 1990s. I was a kid when that happened.
Where's Eric?
He is running a company called Lunicycle now. And so I bought that Academic Chess of Orange County. I bought it from him in 2016. But before that, I did work under him. And I'm super grateful for him. But he used chess to get off of drugs. So he was he was out in the streets doing drugs and all that, got into chess, got clean, got into UC Berkeley, got a literacy degree, and now is an amazing business person. So chess can be an amazing thing for that as well. For me, it was the same thing. It was an escape from my really tough home life. It's something I was able to just put all my focus and mind power into that would distract me from what was going on around me, and I'm so grateful for that.
Wow.
So it changes lives.
It does. You've changed my life. Just hearing your story.
Well, thank you.
Thank
It's great what you're doing. I've been really inspired by what you're doing for the community and getting positive stories out there and using the tragedy to make good. I mean, that's the best thing we can do, and that's how you are honoring Blaze in a big way.
Thank you. And I see that you have taken a difficult situation and turned it into a dream come true. But without that hardship, would you be where you are today?
No.
Okay, so everybody that heard that, if you have a hard life, you can turn it around.
It really comes back, like even chess. Like if so, I always tell my students, a lot of them want to play. Like we have this at our Friday night tournament. We have the egg sections for the beginners: snake, lizard, gator, monster. They're trying to work their way up to being a tougher section. And a kid will come in and they're rating, and they get a rating, they get a number based on how they play. So we keep kids playing kids at their own level. But sometimes they'll be at like that borderline where they can play the easier group or they can play the tougher group, and they want to play the easier group and win a trophy. I'm like, you're not going to learn that way. Like there's a way to win in chess in 4 moves called the 4-move checkmate, and so I teach that to all my students, and it's really easy and fun, and you win a game really quickly. But do you learn anything doing that again and again and again? The answer is no. The way you learn in chess, just like in life, is through losses. When you lose a game of chess, if you really learn from that game, that's how you get better. I mean, I have so many stories of I lose a game, I see how they beat me, the trick they used to beat me, and then I can be able to use that against somebody else in a future chess game and actually win that game. Yeah. And that truly is a story of my life too, where I've been able to say, okay, these are the hardships I've been through. How do I use these to create a positive in the world around me? And so that's been really, really
very inspiring. Yeah, very, very.
And then just looking at the good people who helped me along the way, like Susan Samuel.
That's right.
My foster dad, Carter.
Yes. You had some really great adults and humans that were there for you, and you needed help.
And we try to do that for the kids in our program. So all the kids are really all about finding those great people.
Yeah. That's so great. I love it. I wish I could talk to you all day. It'd make me very happy if I could, but we have to let you go do your thing.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time
we loved having you, and I hope more kids learn how to play chess because of you.
Absolutely.
And I know
we're going to go. We're going to get to 1 million. 800,000 to go.
You've only taught 200,000 as of today, but we're going to get to 1 million.
So if anybody listening has a kid who wants to learn chess, send them our way. We'd love to work with them.
Fantastic.
Well, thank you very much for having me on this podcast. It's so special. Your podcast is inspiring, and it's just such an honor to be a part of it. Strategic Kids is an amazing program. We'd love to see any kids out there come join us. Every Friday night we have a chess tournament. We can bring our program to your school if you have kids in a school in the area, and we're excited to see what Strategic Kids can do in the future. Thank you.
Blaze It Forward is a campaign my family started in 2018 after our son Blaze was murdered. Blaze It Forward provides the inspiration to thousands of people to repair the world with intentional acts of kindness. If you would like to learn more about Blaze and how you can make a difference, check out www.blazebernstein.org or join our Facebook group at #BlazeItForward. You can also check out my website for this podcast at www.PeppTalksWithJeanne.com. There you can follow along with my podcasting adventures and learn more about my fascinating guests and their passion projects. I would like to thank all of the volunteers who help make my philanthropic endeavors a reality. Today that includes my producer, Eli Moskowitz, all of the volunteer crew members who join us, and a special thank you to my son, Jay Bernstein, for the original theme song you hear at the beginning and ending of each show. This has been another episode of Pep Talks with Jeannie. Until next time, keep on making this world a better place.